People say that the prettiest city is Paris, or the city with amazing views is Barcelona, or the city with amazing windy corridors is Venice or Amsterdam. But just tell me something. Have you ever been through London? Well, if not, then you've missed experiencing all the stuff at the place called London, which is standing high on the banks of River Thames. Hello and welcome everyone to your favorite YouTube channel, City to Visit. In today's video, we're going on an amazing, beautiful trip to the most beautiful and coolest places you must have been in the great city of London. Stay tuned until the end to enjoy this wonderful trip virtually and then visit these places when you visit London in real life. Well, with that being said, let's start. There's no doubt that London is the most iconic city in the world, as it is brimming with history and has been home to the royal family for a long time. Visitors here love its modern vibe, but more than that, they're charmed by its old world charm that can only be felt when you do actually visit the city. And now you're going to experience it. So we're starting our journey with Hyde Park. It's probably the most famous park in London, and it's one of the largest. The park has historical significance, having hosted a number of demonstrations and protests during protests by the suffragettes. The park's famous Speaker's Corner is still occupied by debates, protests, and performance artists every week. The park is home to several memorial features, such as 2 bodies of water, the most famous being the Serpentine. Here you can go paddle boating, see a number of swans, and take in the fresh breath of air in the center of the city. Here we move on to Madame Tussauds, London. This is one of the best places to see in London. It has lifelike wax statues and interactive areas that bring your favorite movie characters and celebrities to life. From Benedict Cumberbatch to Johnny Depp to Her Majesty the Queen. Enjoy the red carpet walk of your icons, of your dreams, or visit your favorite movie scenes in a special zone dedicated to Star Wars. Then moving ahead towards Westminster. It is considered the political hub of London and is home to the Houses of Parliament and the world-famous Big Ben. Big Ben is the name of the bell housed within the iconic clock tower, and it still chimes every hour. You can also find Westminster Abbey here, which is open to the public most days. Whilst visiting these landmarks, be sure to rest your feet in Parliament Square, which features statues of important political individuals including Nelson Mandela and Winston Churchill. Well, after this political hub, let's move further to St. James Park. London wouldn't be what it is without its royal parks. St. James Park is perfect for a Sunday walk, and don't forget to bring some food for the ducks and squirrels. You don't want to disappoint them. It's on you if you want to take a stroll or lose yourself in the beauty of the famous flower beds in this garden. For 400 years, pelicans have inhabited St. James Park, and the park is surrounded by many important landmarks and is certainly worth a visit. Our next stop is the Royal Palace and the most expensive residential place in the world, the Buckingham Palace. It is situated adjacent to the Green Park, so you do not have far to go. Just about everyone who visits London wants to see Buckingham Palace, the London home of the English monarch and the administrative offices. The palace gates are ornate, and the palace building itself is very important to the British people during both jubilant and sad times. A very fascinating thing to do is to watch the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. I really hope you check the time and the day of the ceremony before visiting the palace so that you won't miss it. Our next stop is the London Eye. It's formerly known as the Millennium Wheel, Revolving Observation Wheel or Ferris Wheel in London, on the south bank of the River Thames in the borough of Lambeth. At an overall height of 443 feet, that's 135 meters. The London Eye was the world's tallest Ferris wheel from 1999, when it was built. That is until 2006, when it was surpassed by the Star of Nanchang in Nanchang, China. It's one of London's most popular tourist attractions, for which an admission fee is charged and is sometimes credited with sparking a worldwide revival of Ferris wheel construction. What is now called the London Eye originated as an entry submitted by David Marks and Julia Barfield of Marks Barfield Architects in 1993 to a competition sponsored by the Sunday Times and Great Britain's Architecture Foundation for a new landmark to commemorate the millennium in London. The London Eye, as it was called at the time, was ceremonially opened by Prime Minister Tony Blair on December 31, 1999, but did not admit its first paying passenger until March 9, 2000. Originally scheduled to be dismantled after 5 years, it was kept in place because of continued popularity, and in 2006, a decorative LED lighting system was installed in order to make the wheel more prominent after dark. Moving on to the next one, St. Paul's Cathedral. It's the largest and most famous church in London. St. Paul's Cathedral sits atop the site of a Roman temple and is a rebuilt structure after the earlier one was destroyed in a fire. Today, the 365-foot dome of St. Paul, along with its twin Baroque towers, represents the zenith of English architecture. A Roman temple to Diana may once have stood on the site, but the first Christian cathedral there was dedicated to St. Paul in AD 604 during the rule of King Athelbert I. The cathedral burned, and its replacement, which was built between 675 to 685, was destroyed again by Viking raiders in 962. In 1087, a third cathedral erected on the site also burned. Moving on to the next one, Kynan's Mews. It is best seen in the wisteria season when purple trails down the houses and the crowds are fewer than in the summer. Kynan's Mews is one of those must-see London attractions for any photography lover. Mews streets are dotted throughout the London landscape and were once where horses were housed when the city ran on horsepower. Today, the stables have since been converted into housing, and the addresses are some of the most exclusive in London. Due to the rise of its popularity on sharing sites like Instagram, Kynan's Mews is best seen in the morning midweek when tourists are at their fewest. Luckily, that's also when the light is at its brightest. However, when you do go, even if there are other tourists around, you still won't be disappointed by the Mews Road's beauty. Other pretty Mews streets worth visiting are those of Bathurst Mews, St. Luke's Mews, and it is the pink house that features in Love Actually and Cornwall Mews South. Now let us make our way to the World Museum, the British Museum. It's a public museum dedicated to human history, art, and culture located in the Bloomsbury area of London. Its permanent collection of 8 million works is among the largest and most comprehensive in existence. It documents the story of human culture from its beginnings to the present. The British Museum was the first public national museum in the world. The museum was established in 1753, largely based on the collections of Anglo-Irish physician and scientist Sir Hans Sloane. It first opened to the public in 1759 in Montague House, on the site of the current building. The museum's expansion over the following 250 years was largely a result of British colonization and has resulted in the creation of several branch institutions, or independent spin-offs, of first being the Natural History Museum in 1881. In 1973, the British Library Act 1972 detached the library department from the British Museum, but it continued to host the now separated British Library in the same reading room and building as the museum until 1997. The museum is a non-departmental public body sponsored by the Department of Digital, Culture, Media and Sport. And as with all national museums in the UK, it charges no admission fee except for loan exhibitions. Now let's move ahead to our last destination, the Big Ben. Well, it's a known fact that the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about London is the Big Ben, and it truly is a legendary monument. This 97-meter tower housing a giant clock is known throughout the world as the time signal of BBC Radio. It is one of the greatest places to be in the world, and let's just leave it to that. This is amongst the best places in London. Well, with this, I'd like to end this video. I hope you liked and enjoyed it. However, stay tuned to the channel as new videos are coming for you guys. And the next video you may watch on our channel will be on the City of Canals, Venice. I hope you loved that video, and if you like our content, make sure that you like our video. And do share your views and opinions with us in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel to get videos from us regularly, and also do not forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace out.